The tick and talk of the day, Sunday, 7:49 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time on May the 28th, 2023. The Deus 2. Now, I've got 1.10 in this machine. We're going to talk about the ground balance. And a little bit about the tracking ground balance, okay? This machine, now, deep-high conductor, that's the default frequency, okay? Take note of that. Now, we go over here and we do a pump and ground balance in general program, which I've already done. Okay, I guess I can do it again here. You see that number in the window there? See that number there, 79? Well, every program that you go to with 40 kilohertz will have that ground phase in it. For example, we'll go over here to the old fast program and mash the ground balance center button down there. See that? Now, also, the same goes for 24 kilohertz. If you balance it in 24 kilohertz, all the programs, when you go to 24 kilohertz, will have the ground balance. See that number there? Max frequency 24. So if I slide over here to the relic program, now I've not ground balanced the relic program per se by pumping, but watch what's in the window. See that? Now let's back up here to the deep-high conductor. Now it runs on a 14 kilohertz default setting, and I've not ground balanced this machine using any of the programs, you know, using 14 kilohertz like deep-high conductor, okay? So when I mash this button, you see what I get? I get the default ground balance 87. I'll let you see that again. See that? Now I've done balanced 24 kilohertz and I've done balanced 40 kilohertz. And you all got to see the phase number in the park and relic and in the general program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to transition 24 kilohertz deep-high conductor. Now I'm going to hold that button right there my thumb is on. Watch what happens. See that? Okay, now we're going to go in here. We're going to change it to 40 kilohertz. And I'm going to hold that button again. See what happens? So this can be handy when you're cross-checking programs. And this also applies to your saved programs, okay? So basically you could ground balance, just for simplicity's sake, you could ground balance one of the first 4 programs, and you could ground balance park and ground balance deep-high conductor in their default max frequency settings. And every program on this machine except for the Beats programs will have a ground balance. Okay? So if you balance any one of the first 4, program 5, program 6, all the programs except the Beats, when you toggle to include your saved programs, will have a ground balance in there. Now, here's something people need to be mindful of here, okay? We'll leave it to, let's just toggle back here to general. Okay? Now I held that button there and you got to see that 79 in the window. Now I'm going over here to the top right key. See my thumb down there? Okay, we're going to scroll down here to tracking. See that? Tracking is off. Tracking is on. Okay. Now, I'm going to exit this. Now, I had this machine ground balanced. Y'all got to see a 79, I believe, in the window. If I hold that key right there, hold it, not pinpoint, but to hold it to do another pump and ground balance, and I don't do a ground balance, or I guess, yeah, even if I do a ground balance, I'm sorry, which is what I'm doing. You see the number coming in the window there? Okay, now when we go back over here and we hit this top right key, and we go back down here and access tracking, see what happened? It's off. So once after you select tracking on this machine, If you hold that button right there down for a pumping ground balance, your tracking turns off. Now, here's an easier way to show this. I turned it on, okay? Now, the pumping ground balance button down here, it works practically, I think, in about every way this machine is set up, even with that menu screen open. So I'm going to mash that. See what happened? When I turned it loose, see it? Tracking is off. And you don't get any warning of this. Meaning, if you didn't know any better, you know, you may say, oh, I've got tracking selected, like so, okay? And I'm out here hunting and the machine gets noisy on me and I'm like, well, let me just do a pumping ground balance. I've got tracking on. And you're going to see a phase number in the window, okay? And you're going to be like, okay, I got that done. So I'm ready to go back a hunting. The only problem is, tracking's turned off, okay? Now this, on the version 0.6 and 0.71, what I'm showing here applied. The only problem is, you know, you weren't able to change this max frequency. So a lot of what was seen in it happens in this, except, you know, you were stuck at one frequency band for the highest frequency transmitted. Anyway, I hope people enjoyed.